Rest in paradise, Akira Toriyama, Sensei, we will always love you. This is a mural we've designed, dedicated to the legend and late great Akira Toriyama, here in South Americas, in Lima, Peru. Akira Toriyama has always been honest about his inspirations, and noted them well in the media. Excited about those who may have inspired him, he put together his ideas with very little inspiration from American media, as he's been seen with kung fu heroes more so than American idols and celebrities. For those of you who are true Dragon Ball fans, you probably already know how a lot of his ideas came about, especially if you were able to follow along as a teenager in the early 90s, when the show was airing in Japan. He has always been honest about his inspirations and ideas, as we see here. Similarities with actual people and character names similar to food and food products. When creating his characters, as well as other Dragon Ball character designs, he sometimes didn't particularly use the design for the canonical series, as we've seen before, designs used in other projects, as well as Dragon Ball GT. Humorous light-hearted names for other characters, such as underwear, like Trunks and Bloomers. So even with a nickname based on a carrot, his origin is based of Sun Wukong, from the very first chapter of the entire series and franchise. Sun Wukong has had video games based on him since the 1980s. And even as of 2024, the legend of Sun Wukong continues to be used in other franchises. Now, let's get back to those in America who have made popular channels, and fabricated that Goku, in Dragon Ball, is a copycat Superman inspired by the DC Comics character, Clark Kent. Certain writers created their own different version of Superman, which is why the story was retold, over and over, throughout the years by DC Comics. Actually, it's more of a chance that DC Comics copied from Dragon Ball. If you look into the dates of the manga comics from Akira Toriyama, the years appear to be earlier. So just because someone has a leg up in the height of battle, or folds their arms before engaging in a fight, doesn't mean that the writer copied from another franchise. They may even fight enemies with similar powers. Same for Goku, just because he can fly and his home planet was destroyed, doesn't mean he is a copycat Japanese version of Superman. That's just a complete lie. They may have similarities, but tons of fictional characters have similarities yet share no inspiration from one another. In recent years, DC writers have openly paid homage to Akira Toriyama, as seen here, when Superman punched World Forger, in what the DC fan base is currently calling Superman's strongest punch, in which he mirrors the pose of Goku's Dragon Fist Punch. And the writers of a current, new Superman series, paid homage to the late great Akira Toriyama, having Superman pose as Goku posed, from a Dragon Ball Z manga cover. In my opinion, Goku was purposefully misrepresented, with the strawman argument. A strawman argument is a fallacy that occurs when someone misrepresents an opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. The arguer then attacks the misrepresentation instead of the actual argument, and that is exactly what they did. They downplayed Goku's abilities, and attacked the misrepresented version they created, all while amplifying Superman's powers. But what if I were to strawman Superman in a debate? For example, one way Goku can beat Superman is with kryptonite. There is more than one kind of kryptonite. When Superman were around pink kryptonite, he used to become sexually attracted to men, as seen here. He becomes horny, and tells Jimmy, "You look smashing in that bow tie," and Jimmy just says, "Thank you." There's no way he can beat Goku by seducing him sexually. But the writers changed it, to where now, Superman turns into a full woman around pink kryptonite. With his guard completely down, extremely horny, and prepared to have sex immediately, even Lex Luthor would have an easy chance to overpower Superman, by making him fall in love, being in a woman's body, impacted by pink kryptonite. So no, Superman cannot beat Goku in battle nor a death match, but if pink kryptonite was around, and Superman got horny and turned into a woman, then he has a chance at defeating Goku. Superman can attack Goku in his sleep or attack him when he lets his guard down, as he often does. As soon as he turns into a woman, the pink kryptonite gets her so horny that Goku would be forced to love her or run, because she wouldn't want to fight nor kill him, but she'd be madly in love with him, because that's how the pink kryptonite affects her. A female, Pepe Le Pew. Of course, I'm just joking. But that is how you perform a strawman argument. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Superman fan. And I'm old enough to have been a fan of Superman first before I heard of Dragon Ball growing up in America. So I'll explain the truth about Superman to the younger viewers who may not be well educated on Superman throughout the years. Superman being able to defeat Goku because he can survive in space is another strawman argument brought up by this toxic fan base of Superman fanboys when Goku already defeated someone who can survive in space. So, let's break down Superman's 5 greatest feats quickly, to not take up too much time. Superman lifts a book of infinite pages. But he had help from Shazam. He didn't do it by himself, nor was this action performed in battle. It means nothing when he gets his ass whooped by someone who can't lift a book of infinite pages. Superman lifts a being made up of eternity. But he also had help from Wonder Woman and the Green Lantern. He didn't do it by himself, and they did not lift him. I repeat, they did not lift him. They guided his fall. They literally guided his fall and didn't lift him at all. So that is a complete lie. But even if it were true, it was a feat, not performed in battle, and it doesn't mean you can beat someone and dies by punches from someone who cannot perform the feat. Superman benched press the weight of the earth for 5 days straight, dies by punches from someone who cannot bench press the weight of the earth. Superman holds the weight of a large moon, dies from a failed lab experiment named Doomsday, who cannot push the weight of a large moon. Superman holds a black hole in his hands, yet it served no purpose in his death, dies by punches from someone who cannot hold a black hole, beat to death with low-level city damage, and no planet, city, or state was destroyed, and those great feats did not come in handy in battle to save his life. He did none of the attacks of frying brain fragments and super speed punches, all while the sun was out, the source that powers him. So that was Superman's 5 greatest feats debunked as to defeating Goku. And on top of that, all these actions were only performed once. I repeat, these actions, they listed, as to why he can beat Goku, were only performed once, and none of them were performed in battle, and they didn't serve him and help him to save his life in the countless times he has died. He's never even defeated anyone in his own universe with those actions or attacks. So either they don't know much about Superman or they are just completely lying. In real debates, strawman arguments are not allowed, and you are permitted to only use an original writer against another original writer. Otherwise, anyone can create a composite copy to debate, and give the character powers at will, unlike the original creator. Superman has 3 weaknesses that Goku would be able to naturally utilize against him in a death battle that would casually destroy Superman. The first would be psionics. As we've seen Goku use his mental abilities, more than how they displayed him, only giving himself a Shinzu bean, he actually has used his mental abilities for attacks in battle. So that is a downplay. That was on the planet Namek long ago, so that ability is magnified. Because Saiyans get stronger, and Superman does not, he doesn't need to get stronger. As they stated in the early 90s, comparing Superman to Goku. Even Vegeta was seen using some form of psionics early on planet Namek. The next would be vibratory attacks, as seen here. Superman has always had a weakness to vibratory attacks, as seen here, in his own universe without comparing him to another franchise. He was put down by a kid with a proton energy blasting gun. Most of the explanations and definitions of vibratory attacks described here are similar to what Goku uses. The next would be powerful physical trauma, upon which I could make a 5-hour-long video on. about how Goku is capable of causing enough physical damage to Superman, from what is portrayed in the comics and animation. Superman got put down by the Karate Kid. The Karate Kid is a low-level human with no real cosmic powers and KO'd Superman as if it was nothing, just a karate master. Next, we have a version of Doomsday that breathes kryptonite, no speed punches or dodges. Superman has trouble with godlike power, as seen here, fighting the god, Atlas, who got the best of Superman in a battle of brute strength. Another character named Gog, who had a portion of power from the gods, the power of Zeus, Shazam, and a couple of other gods. He killed Superman. And then he went back in time, each day, killing Superman, over and over, and each day killing him a new and different way. From torturing him, to one-shot blasting him to death, to teleporting him, to an all-kryptonite atmosphere, and letting him rot away. To where Superman is seen here, speaking with Death, the Grim Reaper, about what's going on. So in his own universe, Superman was defeated by very powerful characters, who were far weaker than Goku, and had no universe-shaking strength, as Goku does, where we see, Superman's greatest feats were useless in battle, in his very own universe. Superman's so-called strongest punch only occurred when Batman helped him align with several suns, where he was trapped in the void of deep space, where he was powerless and unable to fly, due to no sunlight. He performed the punch one time, and it is not something that he can do all the time or at will. And it only left a dent in the planet, as he zoomed quickly to punch a powerful character, who is powerful enough to create universes. So if we power scale that punch to the damage that Goku is capable of, we have greater power with Goku, as seen here. The Ka-Chi-Kat-Chin in the Tournament of Power is the material used to create the arena for the warriors. It is the strongest material in all 12 universes. Goku and Vegeta casually destroyed the material with their attacks, as well as the Saiyan, Kale, just by shouting, and she cracked the ground while walking, in berserk mode. Each Kamehameha blast destroyed the material, showing a destructive force, and it's unlikely something that Superman can walk through or remain unaffected by. Goku used the Kamehameha blast 19 times in the Tournament of Power, without recharging with a Shin-Zu beam, while one supernova blast completely knocked Superman out 2 times, and he barely survived. And Goku more than likely would beat Superman Prime, due to the fact that there are no feats available for Superman Prime 1 million. There are no standalone comics for him, and he was featured in a limited series. He never engaged in battle with anyone, nor did he defeat a powerful character. So we have no shadowing of actions to say he can do anything, and that is necessary for a debate. And even Superman Prime, who lived in the sun for thousands of years, and is supposedly powered up like never before, comes out of that thousands of years hibernation, instantly still in great fear of doomsday, seemingly less confident about his new given strength. So context matters when reading comics. Even Batman was always seen smart enough to defeat Superman several times, by way of context, from the writers, where they have Superman entrusting Batman with kryptonite, just in case he goes mad or insane, Batman can control the situation. Not so super now, are we? And it's easy to spot the misrepresentations without using Google, if you happen to have read these comics in the past. In my opinion, the toxic parts of the Superman fan base have still long been upset about Akira Toriyama allegedly making fun of Superman with a mock version of Superman called Sour Man in the first Dragon Ball series, where Sour Man has no powers and is a coward who runs away when faced with a real superhuman, a guy named General Blue. And even though I couldn't find any information on if Akira Toriyama purposefully intended for this to be a mock version of Superman, I think anyone can agree that Sour Man looks a little familiar to Superman, even if it's not. Thank you for watching, all of you, and more importantly, the true Dragon Ball fans. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to keep up with the latest debunks concerning Dragon Ball haters. Share this video to those frauds. Fuck them, they can suck my Dragon Balls. And let me know in the comments, any other channels, hating or lying on Dragon Ball. But before I go, check this out.
Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. Think for a minute, why did you lie? Just one hit from Goku and Superman is going to die. Them videos are laughable, you can't be for real. He died by punch his son out as the Man of Steel. Now I know you troll and think it's funny to get them views higher, but let's be honest, you are a Superman dick rider. Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. Superman can't be Goku, and you guys had to lie to say that he could. It's all cap, head cannon. Superman never did a battle in the comics. It's all cap, head cannon. Also known as bias fanboy logic. It's all cap, head cannon. Superman never did a battle in the comics. It's all cap, head cannon. Also known as bias fanboy logic. Superman Prime has no feats, and we never seen